David, I hope you had a
nice vacation.
A great vacation, but we got to get back to work.
Yep.
So do me a favor and start that intro.
When you're not too busy, trying to waste some time. Watch every show, don't know where to go, you wish time would go by. I mean, I have a suggestion, do whatever you want with it. It's not your first, but it's not your last, your second favorite podcast. Your second favorite podcast, the show that is just for you. Your second favorite podcast, we're not doing it for the few. Your second favorite podcast, conversation all over the place. Just sit back and relax. Your second favorite podcast. Your second favorite podcast.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Nico here. And welcome to your second favorite. Welcome to your second favorite podcast. I'm with my lovely girlfriend here, and this is coming up on a Tuesday. We're on time. Mm-hmm. We did good. We done good by ourselves.
Saturday coming up on a Tuesday. It's Friday.
So, I want to make a special announcement.
We're getting married, y'all.
Okay, let me come out with a real special announcement. I'm on the podcast is on Spotify.
It's not even as important as what
We're
I said.
on Google Podcasts, iTunes, and now Spotify. Thanks to Anchor. Anchor's a great place to put your podcast up. Not a sponsorship, but hey. What's up, Anchor?
They help us out.
Feature me on the page. You know, I feel like I'm a little closer than you. I'm just bigger than you.
I'd hope so.
To the camera.
I don't want to be bigger than you.
Yeah, you're right. We switched up today. We're just in chairs today.
Just in chairs.
That's nice. We're still trying to keep the cool, relaxing feel. I've been liking how these podcasts been feeling.
Yeah, no table.
Yeah, no table talk. No.
Yes, a lot of table talk going on lately.
No.
You got the View, you got the Real. They're all sitting at tables.
Right. We trying to switch it up around here, you know? Yeah. We take away.
Even there's an end table in some of the other interviews.
Exactly.
They sit in the living room and there's a table in the middle. There's always some at the table.
I guess technically we got a stool here.
Just a stool. This is something you sit on.
Yeah, but we don't use that.
We don't use
that at all. I was going to turn on the sign, but never mind.
You don't need it.
Hashtag never mind.
Anyways.
How you been, babe? Me doing an imitation of me. Me doing an imitation of you doing an imitation of me.
All right. You're just trying to make it complicated. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Really?
I'm wonderfully great.
Even though you spent $100 today?
I ain't spent $100 today. No, it was like 50 something.
Ew.
$100. I would have been a lot more annoyed if I spent $100 a day.
Yeah, that is annoying.
It is. Hashtag annoying. So, any new things you saw in the daily news report of the year? It's my favorite newspaper company.
No, I finally figured out the difference between a gemstone and a crystal, because people kept asking me, was I wearing a gemstone or a crystal? And I kept saying they're crystals, and sometimes I would say they're moon rocks, and I'm like, that's not right. Mm-hmm. I just sound like I don't know what you're talking about. Frick I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that. Hey, watch your feet.
Go ahead.
I don't like that. So I figured out the difference.
What's the difference?
Crystals are made. The simplest way I can say it, crystals are made by Earth. Gemstones are more valuable pieces.
Gemstones are more found in gyms. Okay. When you're hooping, sometimes you can look on the ground and you'll see one.
This is what I have to deal with all day.
Exactly.
All day, every day.
And this is what y'all deal with when you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just call me Nico. Way to segue that into the.
Why you didn't tell me to speak louder? I started mumbling. Whoa.
I don't know. I can't. I don't.
Whoa.
I hear you, so I don't really. I can't really monitor if you're mumbling. The only time that I can only time I can
monitor speak.
when you mumble is when there's a third person here.
Oh, gotcha.
And I can just listen to y'all too, and I'm trying not to talk as much. But in other news,
Jim is
The Office is going to have another season, and Steve Carell is not going to be in it, which is fine because
you said that already.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I didn't, but
no, not to the audience, but I'm like you said that he wasn't in a lot of.
Yeah, he wasn't in
last
season 9.
2 or something. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. He wasn't in season 9. Like, it's not like it's a weird thing. I don't know why people like. No, not even people. More the person, the people that really made me mad when they said that was the people that made the article. It was like, and Steve Carell's not going to be in it. I'm like, he wasn't in it already. Why?
He made the show.
As long as the regular people is there,
yeah,
then I'm more okay with that.
He's funny as hell to me. So
yeah, he's funny in the show.
Yeah,
The
I feel
8
like his
seasons
stand-up might suck.
I don't.
Like a lot of other people, like
I don't know. Is he a comedian?
Jim Carrey's didn't. I'm just saying if he did.
Yeah. Nah, he's more situational funny. He's like a movie kind of guy funny.
Yeah. Because Jim Carrey's stand-up was
It's just like how I feel about
garbage.
I feel like they like that about Mike Epps. Like I don't really care for him as a comedian.
He recycles his joke, and I was like, okay, he's not funny.
Yeah. But the way that he does his stand-up is how I imagine him in the movies.
Yeah,
so
true.
in some ways, that's what makes it funny.
He relies on his movies a lot, too, to help his material.
I think when he's in a movie, he's a lot more funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, who am I to judge?
A viewer? Shit, I pay to see.
Ooh.
I pay to see him shoot.
I got the family listening to this podcast now.
Oh, sorry, guys. I got a potty mouth.
Sure do.
I scored points with Auntie
bathroom
today, so it's fine.
That's good. It's always good to shoot from the 3-point line sometimes and get a buzzer beater.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Throw some
Y'all
sports knowledge into
you ever made something? No. You ever plan to make something, watch the rest? Well, not watch the recipe. Read the recipe, prepare to get it from the store and all of that, and maybe have to substitute 1 or 2 things that aren't important. And then it turns out completely different.
Yeah.
Which was that?
Sadly, it was when it was brownies. The way that I prepped it was it turned into muffins. It was a weird mix, and it's because I didn't have an actual pan to put them in, so all I had was like muffin pans, I guess.
Yeah.
And it turned into muffins.
You had cornbread cupcake holders.
Yeah, they were technically like chocolate muffins, though.
That sounds good.
It was good. It was interesting. It was just muffin brownies. Muffin shaped brownies. Shiny. But yeah. What about you?
I made that the picture I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it's supposed to be sausage, mushroom, and cheese.
Okay, we're gonna put the picture up on screen. I'm not gonna do that.
Why would you say that then?
I don't know. I just felt like we.
It is supposed to be some type of casserole. Not casserole. What's it called when you just put something together?
Making it up.
No, like sausage.
Homemade.
It was a sausage, cheese, and mushroom, and the cheese stuck to the mushroom and the sausage and stuff. I don't know, but I just added a bunch of stuff and substitute because I don't like cheese, so I didn't put any cheese in there. It's just mushroom and vegetables and Italian sausage.
I didn't put any cheese in there.
And a lot of garlic. It was a lot of garlic in there.
Ugh, I can't stand. I
love garlic.
I like the hint of garlic where it's like, oh, got a little garlic in there. Not, oh.
You really taste garlic when it's cooked? I don't never taste it when it's cooked. I can
when it's
smell
like
it.
pasta, like some type of pasta that has some garlic seasoning on it, or like garlic toast.
I put so much stuff on it, I don't never taste it.
Then why do you do that?
Taste it, but I don't. It adds more flavor to all of it.
Oh.
Like when I use cayenne pepper and paprika and all that other stuff, it just adds to the I was trying to say and I said you know. Yeah. So if you like this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's over.
I wonder if
9 minutes.
I wonder if is there anyone that would listen to this, and when there's a podcast that I am listening to, I'm getting frustrated myself. If there's a podcast that I am listening to and they do like a random ending in the middle of their podcast, I look at the timestamp. I'm like, dang, is this over? Like, I was like, how long was I listening to this already?
You,
gosh, you know, what you said about. I felt like I had to explain myself.
You did a
more.
little. I guess you were dragging.
Exactly.
It's okay.
It's like the feeling I get when I have to explain wrestling to people. It's like I can't just start from so who is he? Okay. So a couple months back, it's like I have to go back to tell you what's going on right now.
Yep.
I still like wrestling. NWO Wolfpack.
It seems like a lot of adults still like wrestling. All the perks, all the compliments he's getting about his shirt.
Yeah. People mostly either like in my brother's age or my age.
Old
in that range. Dirt. It's like 30 something.
You know, your brother is 10 years younger than my mom.
It is weird to think about like that.
It's so weird.
You have this weird look on your face when you do that laugh.
And you look funny when you're screeching laughing.
Thank you.
Your eyebrows get all pointy.
I appreciate that. I really work hard on those laughs.
I'm sure. What is that? What is that? Wario? Weirdo.
Was that a good Wario impression?
Yeah. I don't know.
Wario. Nope.
Ugh,
I don't think it's more
spit in your throat.
I don't think it's a throat thing. Wario. Oh no, I can't hear his voice.
You looked like him. That's all I said.
I could just do poo. Let's get some honey. We're gonna go out here and we're gonna hey y'all, welcome to your second favorite podcast. I'm your host, Pooh, Winnie the Pooh Bear, and I hope you enjoy this podcast. And excuse me, I need some honey. I need some honey. I just need some. Have you ever been driving down the road and you wanted some honey and you couldn't get no honey? Hey, Winnie the Pooh, being a stand-up comedian. Hey, what's up with these honey prices? It's crazy out here. Christopher Robin. Winnie the Pooh, the comedian. Hey, so I was talking to Christopher the other day, and I was like, "Hey, you come here a lot, but you don't bring nothing to the table." And
you could start paying this.
I know I just live in a tree, but there's some bills to pay.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I can't breathe. Oh, that's a good one. Why do I not have a Winnie the Pooh pop? Did it come out one?
You said you didn't like it when you saw it. You said something about his eyes. And he looked
probably.
You said something about how he looked.
That makes sense. Winnie the Pooh, the comedian, everybody.
Whew. You know, it's good to laugh. Exactly. Especially when you can't breathe. It's good to laugh, guys. You know, just laugh.
Yeah, that's all I could do. I don't think hilarious. I can. I always try to work on impressions. I always wished I could have been an impressionist. I just like hearing, being able to manipulate a voice to say what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
But all I can do is probably make sounds.
Yeah.
I could just do courage.
And you could sound like the lady from Family Guy.
Kind of. But I think everybody could do that. It's
I couldn't.
It's like an Arnold voice. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Everybody could do his voice.
I
don't feel like anyone does a good perfect one. Everybody does a good impression voice.
Yeah, like that's who you know that's who they're
Right.
trying to talk about.
Exactly. It's like Seinfeld. It's like everybody, you do the Seinfeld impression. It's never really sounding exactly like him. It's just funny that you're saying things like him in a voice that kind of mimics him.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Jerry Seinfeld is so boring.
He's not boring, man.
That show is
He's-
so freaking boring. I was like,
It's one of the best shows of all
this
time.
is funny.
It's hilarious.
What the heck?
It's one of the. It's literally my second favorite show.
I understand that.
I don't even know what my first is. See, that's the problem. What is my first show? My first favorite real show.
Yeah, Living Single's up there with That's a Raven.
Yeah, see,
and Lizzie McGuire.
I had to make a list the other. Well, I didn't have to make a list, but I thought about like my favorite shows, and I was gonna put Living Single up there, but I think it's just one of my favorite theme songs to a show.
Oh yeah.
Less than it
You
is my
said you
favorite
could
show.
Keep listening to it.
I can listen to that theme song
I
all
kept
day.
skipping it.
If you're listening to any of my videos, you know I got that always playing on my background. I just love the beat. The beat goes on. The beat
I
goes
can't wait
on.
to go home. I have some butter pecan ice cream.
You
That's
didn't
from,
bring me any. Wow.
I didn't go home today. This is what I be doing. I come to show how much I love him. I
I
come
go
straight from work to his house. Why are you being so... Stop.
She gonna leave. All right, y'all. My co-host quit on me. I'm gonna have to do this podcast by myself. So welcome to your second favorite podcast. I'm your only host, Nico here, and today we're gonna talk about what's up with girlfriends. Okay. In the hot seat, I'm good. Listen, the thing is, the crazy thing about, she said I'm gonna sit in the hot seat, but the crazy thing about a podcast, right? It's all about talking. That's what I like to do. But also, I am the editor. I can edit all this out. And it probably didn't have to exist. So it looked like you just got up and then sat right back down.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be so mean.
Am I?
I don't like when people mock
Comment
me.
below. Was I mean? Or was I just being funny?
You're always just being funny. Just funny, Nicholas.
Go ahead. Leave again. Go ahead.
If I leave again, I'm going home.
This is the episode that we get in a fight.
You just made me think of those memes with that girl that broke up with her boyfriend on YouTube.
There was memes about that?
Yes.
Dang.
When he put it in too fast.
Oh, no.
She's like
Oh, no.
crying.
That's horrible.
People are terrible.
They sure are.
It was hilarious.
Crazy thing is they had to sit and edit that.
Yeah.
Unless they have an editor. I'm pretty sure they have
And
an
they
editor at
picked the
this
part.
point.
They picked the part where she was crying the most. Or like,
I mean,
balled
like,
up.
I know the person had to edit. I'm talking like the original video. Somebody had to edit that video.
Oh, yeah.
Either they have an editor at this point, or
Oh, their video.
yeah, or they edited it themselves, and that's sad if they edited it themselves.
Anyways, I have some butter pecan ice cream.
I forgot that's what you said.
It's no sugar added and it's so good.
Nope.
And it's supposed to be a dairy-free product. It's so delicious. I was like, I'm trying to remember what it is.
This
but
is
I
not
can't-
a sponsor.
I can't hear myself at all.
You ain't talking loud enough.
Oh,
you know what? You probably don't hear yourself because you may. No, because I think you could. No, never mind. Well, you have them on the opposite side again, but I don't think that really matters.
they felt a little okay. Yeah.
What? There's no way that works.
I was just hearing air.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I thought maybe you had like the whole one earphone thing. But I like these podcasts, so I can put both ears in. I can still hear you. Perfectly fine.
You want to talk about something else?
No?
Yeah,
about your butter
no,
pecan
You need to talk
ice
about
cream.
No, I'm saying you need to talk about something else.
Why?
If you always talking about your production or something else, you're not never talking about yourself, Nikki.
You want me to talk about myself
I want to
more?
add some music in here. Yeah.
You want me to talk about myself?
Yeah. And don't say I'm 32. I live in West Georgia, and nobody wants to hear that.
I don't think that's on the line of my jokes. I was born in 1994.
I said don't do that.
The best year of all time.
What was it?
I love Nickelodeon shows. Later on, it was Cartoon Network shows that kind of took on my love for cartoons.
Boring.
So
Get to the good stuff. I stole my first car when I was 16.
yeah, I stole my first car. Like it's been a line of other cars I done stole. I like Dragon Ball Z.
My mic matches my socks.
Dragon Ball Super is a pretty good series.
Okay, now you're just getting boring.
Am I getting boring, or am I just boring for you?
Because you dragging your voice and you don't sound no
because
excited
I don't
at
know
all.
what to say about myself.
You want me to ask you some
I'm
questions?
not selfish.
All right.
Out of all the fishes I am not a selfish.
That's what I gotta do with.
This is what everyone has to
Those
deal with.
weird,
Welcome to the channel, everyone.
Kooky jokes.
Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the podcast.
So, let me tell you what happened at school the other day.
In West Philly. Go ahead.
So, there was these kids, and they were like, they all had individual mics. Not mics, headphones. They all had individual headphones, and they were wireless, and they were all dancing. It was this one girl on the stage, and they were all following her dance move. So I'm thinking it's probably like a dance team or something practicing in there. But I'm like, why are they practicing in a school? It's weird. So I asked the librarian what it was, and he said that it is a program that is granted by the government or the state, whatever, for kids who have trouble in school. It's supposed to help them not get bored or something. I said, this is the... What? Me and him, he was like, I know, right? And I was like, what? Are you serious? It's really a program, and they give them lunches, and it's just something that it's supposed to get them excited about going to school or learning, getting excited about going to school and learning. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
It sounds like they're giving them a hobby. Like
I guess you put it that way.
Hobby program.
Yeah, you put it that way, I guess.
That's interesting. Huh.
I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's a very interesting program.
Like, that's so enabling.
Yeah. And they get lunches, though, so.
And a bus.
They
get dropped off home and picked up and dropped off to the school and all that other stuff.
Wow. And this is college.
No. These are high school kids.
Totally changed my perspective there. All right.
I thought I said that. Sorry.
You probably did. You probably did. But
and he said they're high school kids that are at risk of dropping out.
I guess that makes sense, though.
No.
Gives them something to look forward to.
No.
It's not enabling them. I think
it's enabling because when they get in school, what the hell are they supposed to do?
They would probably find a program that does the same thing. Not a program, but they
them.
probably say they like to dance, right? They can find a dance team or dance group that they start doing.
How's that going to get them excited about
college.
learning and going to school?
But that's something they can do
school.
after school and before school or during the mid times where you're doing homework or something. I don't know. But it's whatever it is must be working for them to stay in the program. Some people can take that problem that they have and be able to continue with it in a healthy way. Some people may resort to just dropping out in total.
I see how you're trying to make the small percentage of that successful, but I feel like I don't know, I guess this is a ghetto in me talking, but it's like some people don't even have the luxury of getting new books.
But
y'all are complaining. But hey.
I think you have to think, like, you have to see the results of it to properly judge it.
No, I can judge.
No, to say that you think it doesn't work. You think it enables them.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. There's no results that shows that it is. For them to keep the program going, it must not be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it just started.
Why? That's what I'm saying. Like, if them kids are still in it, right? And when did you see this?
last Tuesday.
Okay. So say like, give it some time and come back to it and see what happens with it. It's a very interesting program because it's something that's not being done. And it may work. It may work. I'm just giving the possibility that it may work. Now, if there's some results that say, no, then no. I wouldn't invest my money in it. But if it was like a free program, then why not?
I feel like it's just like the allowance thing. It's enabling them.
How is you? Okay. All right. So let's start this off here. What about an allowance enables a child?
It only points, in my perspective, it only shows that the only way it shows that you realize that if you do something, you'll get a reward for it when you're supposed to already be doing it in the first place. It's like you feel like you're entitled to stuff when you get an allowance. That's my perspective. There is a portion where they teach you money management skills, and I'm like, well, you can get that in other ways. You don't have to get it with me giving you money for your chores that you're supposed to be doing, and that it needs to be second nature because you need to clean your own house eventually. And nobody's going to pay you for that. So, or when you just go to work and do the best you can to, I don't know. It's like you take that tool of not expecting rewards all the time and you take it in several different playing fields. But in your point of view, you're saying about money management skills. So I'm like, well, yeah, but that's it.
But you also know that in that process, I do teach my kid to be humble.
Well, that's already being taught from the get-go. So.
But that's what I'm saying. How can he practice that if not there's some type of obstacle that can totally take him away from that?
Which is what?
Saying like what you're saying. You think that having an allowance will enable him. Mm-hmm. That's an obstacle to show how humble he can be. Does he always think that something has to happen when he does something he's supposed to do? Or is morals going to kick in? You know, there's no test. That's at least a test. Is, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as seeing a positivity out of it, either way, is, yeah, I say the money management is one of my positivities. But also being able to know when, you know, just to know that you're supposed to do this stuff, but it's nice to also have something with it. Don't expect it. That's one thing I'm going to let my kid know. Don't expect to get money from this. But just know, when you do good things, I'm willing to do good things for you. Yeah,
I feel like that's just the conversation.
But you got to, though. Like, what's a big incentive for him to get straight A's if even that's an incentive?
Do you want to be here all your life?
Right.
Do you want to be homeless on the street?
If you get good grades, the incentive is you get a scholarship. You still get some type of, you know, in our sense right now, money off of that. It's still an incentive he's working towards. But to still be humble about, you know.
Yeah, because they should want to be educated. And
right, so, but you only, I'm just saying, like, in some cases, people would think that it doesn't expand like that. Like, you don't understand how many subjects or how many things that lands in about just teaching him that little thing. I don't feel like it's going to wreck him. So that's why I said I will just implement it. And I say, like, I mean, when he's like 11 or 12. I would like to do it when he's like maybe 8 or 9, because that's when he starts to like come into an actual boy, where he starts actually wanting things, and he's at the point where he's like, you can talk enough. You're like in elementary school, and if you want stuff, it's nice for you to be able to work towards it, you know. But he has. Then you also working on work ethic.
I guess it's like it's kind of in a way like giving him a lot of freedom or some type of freedom, because if he buying that with his own money, I can't tell him he can't have it. Right,
but the thing is, he learns that lesson. There's things that me and you can implement. I mean, that me and you can implement in a relationship. There's a lot of stuff that that I know if you do, something that you don't want to happen will happen, and vice versa. So I have to let you go through that.
Oh.
And in some ways it's not my decision, but also in some ways it is. So I have to let you do that, because if I don't, you don't learn. And if I don't do it, then I don't learn.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So let my kid, you wanted something that was like $50 and you had $60. You can afford it. You get it. Now there's something else that you wanted or something that you needed. And you're like, dang, I should have saved my money.
Well, that's difficult for me because of the parent I'm trying to be. First of all, I feel like I might get on the smothering side, and that's not going to be on purpose. It's just going to happen.
Right. Hold on, let me change batteries. Go ahead, keep talking.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll just be on like the smothering side because I don't want my child to learn from their mistakes. I want to tell them beforehand, and that's a little smothering, but it's just something I have to work with, and eventually, something I know I got to work on. But after that, what was the thing you said? Learning from their mistakes and damn it, I forgot.
Right. I mean, but just think it's more than just him knowing.
Oh yeah, and buying them things. Sorry.
Okay.
I will. The whole point of me wanting to be successful is, and successful and have enough money to be comfortable is when, if I choose to go out and buy stuff for my kids and they want like the expensive Dolly purse,
Which you want to be able to give it to them.
Yeah, I want to be able to be like, oh yeah, go ahead and pick up those socks if you need them, like the Nike socks versus the Reebok socks, because they just want the brand. Like, all right, that's fine. You like the brand just like I like certain brands. I'm not about to kill you for that.
I don't think this is what you're saying, but based off what you just gave me, it sounds like you rather spoil your kid than him work for it.
I'd rather spoil him than him expect money out of me.
And that's what you're saying.
Just materials.
That's what you're saying.
I don't know.
You plugging that answer in.
Would you stop trying to make it like I can't change?
I'm just making sure that's what you're
plugging
saying.
it in. That's what you're definitely thinking.
I'm just making sure that's what you're saying
out loud.
So I have my contested point to that.
Well, no, because working for it is not the same thing. Because he's just doing what I tell him to, because he's gonna get money out of the end of it. He's learning, but then he's just like, yeah, I'm doing this to get my $5 at the end of the day. So I wouldn't say work for it.
So you rather spoil your kid than have him work for it?
Sure, I guess.
Okay. Do you know spoiling is more enabling than him working for it?
Yes, I know that.
So what is your point? You gave me...
I just told you. I just said that I wouldn't call it working for it, because he could just have the perspective that he's just doing it just to get his little $5 at the end of the day.
But we started off saying that you think that me giving my kid allowance or giving a kid allowance is enabling him.
Yeah.
But you clearly just gave me a point of saying you'd rather spoil him, which is way more enabling than it is than just giving him an allowance.
Spoiling to a certain degree is enabling. If I'm getting my child what they want because it makes them happy.
If you're giving them an expensive bag just because you can afford it.
That was just an example.
But I'm using the point that you gave me. That's all I have to work with. Okay. That's why I asked you, did you plug it in?
You're smart enough to think other ways.
Well, that's not, I know you're smart enough to know that that's what my give him allowance is not only just about him being able to save money. I'm talking about
my child, though.
But I'm telling you, I said that point, but you only gave me that result. So you only limited what allowances could do. You know what I'm saying? You already just limited my answer. So because I'm working off what you just gave me, why is that not the same thing?
It is the same. Well, it can be the same because I'm against it. So I'm going to limit as much as I can, like you would.
But the reason why you're against it is because you think it enables your kid.
Yeah.
But you say you rather do something that's enabling your kid.
It's not.
Spoiling your kid is enabling your kid.
Spoiling them to a certain degree is enabling.
Of course, until a certain degree of anything. But the fact that you said you would just rather give your kid something, it sounds like you're saying you want to be able to give your kid something that he can't get. So you can feel better as a parent by spoiling him.
No.
That's not what you're saying. That's why I kept saying that's not what you're saying. But that based off what you gave me, I have no control
over him if he spends his stupid money.
You're controlling. You're trying to control the kid.
Yes, because at a certain age they have to be monitored, controlled, supervised, whichever word you want to use.
We're not specifying an age here, so. If he's old enough to have his own job, he better be saving his money correctly or spending his money correctly to get his butt out my house. Or her. I'm making this very gender neutral. I'm trying to make this. I keep saying he because that's all I can say. But if he's too young to be able to do that, what did you say?
There is no control.
You want to control the kid. Okay, that's what it is. All right. Why do you feel like you need to control? Listen, if he gets out of
in the most darkest way ever,
if he's getting out of control, then I can understand that. But the kid technically hasn't done anything yet for you to feel like that should be the approach.
What are you talking about?
That sounds like that should be a plan
that's the first thing I'm going to think.
I mean, a plan B.
If I'm against the allowance, that's the first thing I'm going to think.
Once again, though, we're getting away from the point right now.
How?
Because this is about controlling the kid is not the same thing about what's your feelings towards allowance.
Yes, it is.
It's like a sub thing to the allowance thing, because I'm still trying to figure out why are you against allowance, but yet for something that's what you don't like allowance about, like the reason why you don't like allowances.
Because when you say spoiling, people think you're giving your child everything they see, and I'm like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But you're saying you rather be able to be in control. Because I'm in control of what they're getting. I have no control. If I'm giving him money and telling him to save and do money management, I'm giving him certain types of freedom that he wouldn't have if I was just buying it for him and saying, no, you can't have that. Yes, you can have that. No, you can't have that. Because I'm buying it. Mm-hmm. That's why you can't have it. But if he has allowance, he saved his money properly and he's going to go get this stupid toy that I don't want in the house. No, you can't have that. Why not? It's my money. I worked for this money. There's so many avenues that he can use, and I have no reason to say no other than I don't want it in my house. That's not a good excuse at all. I hate that phrase.
But I can get you, though. There's sometimes, though, there could be there's some cases I know that you could be like, hey, I'd rather you not spend your money on that.
I've seen that in the store, and that did not work. But hey, every child's different, like you said.
Exactly. But the approach should be, need to learn his lesson on when to spend his money. And I don't think I should be in control of that unless he's too out of hand with his money. You get what I'm saying?
Well, when are you going to be in control? Because it just sounds...
That's what I'm saying. See, the way that you're phrasing it, there's no unless. You're just like, that's the plan. I'm going to be control of him of his money because I know that this doesn't work. That's how I'm hearing it. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't sound like an alternative. We talk about this a lot of how you don't make it seem like there's an alternative. It's either this is how it's going to go.
Well, that's just what you're perceiving
But that's not, listen, it's not fair for the person that's listening to you to not think about that, because there's no other way for me to understand you if I don't understand your circumstances. If I don't know if I hit you right now, there's something that's a consequence. It's like, I'm going to kill you if I hit you. I'm sorry. If I just hit you a little bit, like what if I nudge you? no, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying, then why is there an extreme? You didn't give me no other alternatives. How else am I supposed to perceive that?
Because you're thinking.
This is what I'm saying, though. But that you saying that there's no alternative. You want.
In my opinion, there's no alternative to it. That does not mean
don't start with my opinion because that is nothing right now. It means nothing to me right now.
It seem like I'm not open to anything, and I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. If it may work, it may work.
Is your first approach to control his money?
Yeah.
How is he getting money?
He's not getting any.
Exactly. So I don't understand how we even got to that point if you're not even with allowance.
I said because if he does get it, I cannot control the money he spends.
But why do you want to control? You want to control it
because he's 11 and 12 and he's bringing that stuff in my house.
See, you already have a mindset of a bad kid.
No. Where did you get bad kid from? I said he's 11 and 12.
Out the screen at
I don't care because I really don't understand. What are you talking about? Where'd you get bad kid from?
Why do you think that he can't spend his money correctly?
No child spends their money correctly. What do you? They're children.
Listen, I think this is the mindset that you was with your mother.
Gosh, that's every child, any child.
No,
when they get money, they spend it improperly.
Listen, but how do you learn? By what? Taking his whole privilege away?
No, he just doesn't get the privilege at all.
See,
what do you mean?
That's another problem that you run across. That you don't even give him the chance. But do you understand? You used to have that same problem that your parents would not give you the chance to prove yourself. They just took it away because you're a child.
That's not what. No.
What are you saying?
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying then? You're taking it away because you're a child. I'm not taking it away. No. You don't deserve this.
Okay, stop looking at me like that.
Because that's what you're saying.
No, it's not what I'm saying.
How?
I'm saying you don't need it because you can learn in other ways. I'm not about to give you allowance.
How? Why not? Listen. Why not implement that in your parenting? What they call it? Lesson plan of trying to teach my kid how to save his money, how to spend his money. Because because you take that part away from him because you say you're a child. You can't spend money properly.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're a child. No.
You said he's a child. All children do that.
Yes, all children do that. Like all children draw on the walls. All children do.
Am I tripping, y'all?
Do me things.
I'm okay. Me to the camera. If she says all children do something, and I say and then you're saying that's the reason why you don't believe in an allowance thing, right? You're taking his chances of being responsible because he's a child. Let him prove to you that he's more mature than you think he is because of his age. Let him give him the chance.
Why can't it be in a different way where I want to teach him a different lesson?
What
Why
other
does
lesson
it have
then?
to be that way?
What's the different lesson then?
First of all, with clean your own house.
Okay. You should just teach him how to clean his house, right? You teach, listen, I'm not skipping that step without an incentive. I'm not, okay, my bad. Am I saying that wrong? I'm not skipping that step when he starts getting incentives with it. I'm going to teach my kid as he's growing up to just clean the house. Just do that. And when he gets of age, I feel like he could, he proved himself or her. He proved themselves as it was growing up that I can give you this opportunity to do this. But do you see what
I never said, so don't even say that. I never said it was not going to happen ever. I said I was against it. And that's why I keep saying, in my opinion, I am against the process working.
Well, your opinion contradicts your point.
No, it does not. Because I'm open to it if it works. But I am thinking in my mind it will not work. I am sitting here telling you why I think it won't work. I'm not saying my child is this or this or this. The reason why you don't leave a child in a room is because they are a child.
Well,
the reason why.
Be a parent.
What?
Yeah, because you need to be a parent. Don't be leaving a child alone in the room.
Because they're a child.
You're more responsible, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say in those cases. I'm not gonna say he's responsible. He can deal.
If
No,
I know
that's stupid.
that my child is responsible enough at 11 or 12, I may be open to allowance. If I feel like it will work with money management skills, I feel like I may accept it. But I am against the process of allowance. Okay, is that simpler for you?
No, you're just
I have
saying
to
the
say
same
it
thing.
word by word. Jeez.
You said the same thing, and it literally has nothing changed.
Why?
Because the whole point is the whole point is the fact that you said you're against allowance, but you want control. The reason why is because you want control of what he buys or what he gets. There's nothing in that plan, those two plans, no allowance. This is your plan. No allowance, control over his finances and what he gets. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm right or yes, I'm wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
That's what I said.
There is nothing in between that gives him the chance to prove himself. What?
Did I
Tell
not
me.
just say, if he does, I will be open to accepting it?
But how? You don't like allowance.
What the? Oh my! Are you not listening?
Are you
What
trying?
is- you're-
Okay.
You're making it like there's no other alternative. You're doing that because I specifically said it twice that I would be open to it, and you're saying so you're just against it and you think it's not going to happen at all. No, I said if he does prove it, it may happen. It may happen.
Right. Okay. Then we get to the point that you already put in doubt.
I put doubt in a lot of things.
And I know that, but don't you get tired of people doubting you?
No.
Yes, you do. What
No
just
one-
happened?
Nobody.
What, do we
what are you
step
talking
into
about?
another world?
Nobody doubts me.
People, you
People judge me and expect me to do
people, the
things.
judgment that they put on you are doubts that you can't do that you don't know how to do this, that you need to know how to do that. These are
Okay.
all doubtful things that you tell me all the time that these people tell you, but
Okay.
yet you still in your idea on how you would do something is tainted.
You know
and I'm
what's
just wanted to
funny?
pointing that point.
That you do the same thing.
I know this, and I'm totally aware. I don't.
Who said I wasn't aware?
Right now, it sounds like
I
we're
just
not.
said I put doubt in a lot of things.
You're not in the screen.
I don't care.
Do you understand at this point? I'm just seeming like I'm talking to myself,
Don't move.
but still, that's what I'm saying. Like you implement. You already have this mindset of the doubt, and I see where this.
No,
is
I
coming.
have the straight mindset that my child is going to be a spitting image of myself, and how I was as a child was not the way you're saying that children are.
Right. Where is your chance? How about that? Give me some
Where's what?
things. Give me some things that would give you some give the kid some chances to prove himself. What would you do that you think wouldn't work?
I don't do yeah.
No,
You
not
started
even
it off
that.
Funny. I don't know.
What would you do to give him a chance? To give her a chance to prove himself that they're responsible, that they can do it.
A car keys for one.
What the heck? That's
What do you mean?
8, 17, 6. Why are we skipping
You
so
just
many years?
told me what to tell
That's
you, and
a
I gave
long
you
time,
something.
though.
Okay, so say something before. Jeez.
But that was the.
Why don't you just say
All right. Was that
go beforehand?
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Give me a little younger.
There you go.
Can you give me something a little younger?
I'd say if they don't get in trouble in like with a grade, preschool, kindergarten. If they don't get in trouble in kindergarten being disrespectful and running around and biting children, stuff like that,
Okay.
I would just know I have a
Like, what if there's a
pretty
what if
sane child.
they're a perfect child all the way to 9?
Okay. Is that when allowance kicks in? I don't know.
Let's just say that. Yeah. Are you still against it?
Yeah. At 9? No.
How big do you think allowances are?
Huh?
How big do you think allowances are?
I don't know. I was thinking like $5 a day or something.
That's too much. $5 a day for a kid. That's too much.
I don't know.
I say $5 maybe a week.
Okay.
I could deal with that. It's like $25 a month. My math is all. Well, it's about right. $25 a month. So
It's 4 weeks in a month.
yeah, 5 times 4.
Yeah,
it's 20. I mean, 5 times 4 is 25. 5, 10, 50. It's 20.
It's 20.
So why the heck am I playing?
I don't know.
20. Yeah, it's 20. So,
No,
they're not.
9's too young.
You don't get this chance. You don't get this kid to grow up.
Oh my God.
Because I think it's a decent age where, like, the 10-year-olds at my camp, they bad mouth like crazy. Mm-hmm. They're grown enough to understand what's going on and also to learn from their mistakes. That's just a pretty.
But do children, adults at this age don't even do that?
Well, we're not those adults, and I don't believe my kids are those kids.
I don't learn from my mistakes. I have to do them and then be like, let's do it again.
And that's where we differ. I think about what I'm going to do, so I won't make those mistakes.
You're
but
thinking
I'm still
of
bound.
your child as an implement of yourself.
I don't.
So that's why you're all like, it may
I don't.
work. Children think that
Did
far.
you hear me? I don't.
I'm not listening to you because you don't listen to me
You
when I
a
say
lie?
stuff like that.
I don't.
I don't care. I'm not listening because you don't listen.
I don't believe that at all, y'all. Because I don't believe that my kid will be anything like me. If he is, I'm surprised. But I kind of think of myself in the median, like where, you may spit some images of mine. I don't expect it. So I'm not surprised. But that's just the way I think of things. I don't think of anything's going to be like me. I don't think anything's going to be like.
Then he going to pop up and be like, where did you get all this from?
Exactly. When I can't figure out where they're getting these characteristics from, then it's like, then obviously I should be a little interested in how this kid is going to grow up to be and what is their mindset at. But to think that my kid's going to be anything like me is a little, I don't know, pretentious. I don't know, something.
So I'm being pretentious?
No, I think, in my opinion, I think that it would seem like that would, but I can understand why you would assume that your kid would be like you because it's your DNA. Duh, it happens. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to attack the situation I'm not going to perceive that situation like they're my kid or they're going to be like something like me. It'd be nice. It'd be easier, but parenting is not easy. So I don't expect it. Yeah. Moral of that story is.
So touching.
Mm-hmm. Still didn't get anywhere. We have this conversation so many times, and it still never gets resolved.
No, because you don't listen.
You don't think that.
Because if you're repeating something to me that I'm not saying, and I keep trying to express what I'm saying, and you're still repeating what you think in your head, and you're not changing it, you're not listening.
I think it's because you go through this weird phase where you're just like, I'm not, okay, I hear what you're saying now. I'm going to change my point a little bit, but I still feel like that doesn't work. And it's like unsettling because I don't understand I don't think you understand yet if you still feel so passionate about it. It's like, what did you do? Just brush it off? It's like, I don't understand. You can't be like...
No, I'm not being all strict like it can't go into discussion. No, that's not what I said.
Or I'd bring up a point that sound like you're contradicting your words.
Okay.
And it's like, are we going to address that point? That's what I be thinking about. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yep.
You said that you're saying it very no, I don't way.
I get what you're saying. I don't know how else to tell you that.
I don't know. We're gonna talk about this a lot more off camera, but we're gonna
be here all night, dudes.
Probably will be, but it's fine. I'm with it.
We're at an hour.
I don't know. I doubt it because
what I was saying, enabling these high school children. No, I said these people and other people agree with me. They're enabling these high school children because when they go to school and realize that they don't like it, what's going to happen next? Some of them might get something out of it, but the others, what about them? It's like, what the heck did this program do? I don't know any other programs though, but it does sound like, wow, we did not get this growing up. That's the enabling me thinking, because we didn't get this growing up. It was like, you either go to school or you're going to be out on the street. Then you want to be on the street, then don't go to school. That's just like with the difference between the people that are homeless and the people who aren't. It works for some people. Some people, it's just on a personality thing, I guess. But I still feel like that's enabling them a little. Just not showing them the real world. Because in the real world, yeah, you get therapy, but you got to have some good insurance to pay for it. Yeah, you get help, but you got to have good insurance to pay for it. Everything costs money. Right now, they're just getting a free ride. Boom.
Okay. Good luck to those kids out there.
For reals.
That is in that program. I hope it works out for you. And the ones that don't, find something else that works out for you, man.
Yeah, like studying.
It's studying doesn't work for everyone. I don't study.
It sure doesn't.
And
doesn't work for me either.
So, well, all right.
I said try something else. Like studying.
Thanks
Studying
for listening to your second favorite podcast. I hope you enjoyed this one. Got a little heated, but it was a nice heated. It was like sitting by the fireplace on a cold winter's day.
I feel like, does that really work? I've never had a fireplace, so I don't know. Yeah. Does that work when it's really cold?
It feels interesting. It's like sitting in front of a heater.
Really? Because I feel like it's only like a certain area, like a small area.
Yeah. If you got a big house, then no. But if it's a small house, it feels good.
So it gotta be small, like having an oven and you're in the kitchen.
Yeah, basically.
Gotcha.
That's basically
the
concept.
Getaway. I thought about it. Hey.
Yeah. But I hope you enjoy it. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for more of this content. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Cheese. I cheesed for the people who are listening.
Bye.